Me being single at my age didn't come from bad decision making, stupid. It came from me never finding the man that I wanted to be with. I don't know in what delusional world y'all men live in where you think that it was all of these wonderful, great men running around when we was in our 20s and we just passed up on all of these great guys. The attractive men when we were in our 20s were doing what attractive men do, which is be players, talk to a whole bunch of different women, and never want to settle down. So given that the attractive men in their 20s didn't want to settle down, that left us with ugly dudes, dudes with kids, and dudes who didn't have themselves together. It's the same thing now that I'm older. The options didn't go from good to bad. It went from bad to worse. I know how y'all like to rewrite history and pretend as if it was all of these wonderful, great men for us to choose from in our 20s, and we just wanted to be outside and we wanted to party with our girls and we didn't want to settle down. That's not what was happening. The options weren't there back then.
Listen, fellas, this woman has been getting a lot of smoke lately. They're clowning her right now, right? This is Dana Dane. They're even bringing up old pictures where she used to be overweight, right? As men who are supposed to be the leaders, we're never supposed to be running away from criticism and critique. We're supposed to be ever evolving and improving, right? That's how we become leaders. We welcome critique. We welcome criticism because imperfections that we have on us, that's how we identify them and get rid of them. Go to her page, see the whole story. Everybody gets smoke from Dana. She calls women out for being groupies and having bad behavior regularly. Men have no business getting defensive when critiques come our way, as much as I call black women out every single day. When we see women who we can't get to be accountable, we call them delusional. Ain't no way that we're going to be looking like them when somebody calls us out, right? I know she wasn't lying when she said black men are hypersexual and they mostly were approaching women for sex, didn't want to settle down, because that's who we are. We want some ass. So if you get mad at her for calling it out, you're delusional. You know us better than anybody does. We already got things we need to work on. We definitely don't need people calling us delusional too. I'm a man's advocate. I stand up for men because nobody else does. But my biggest desire is that black men stand up and move inside of emotion that makes it tough for anybody to say negative things about us. That's my biggest desire. So if somebody is telling the truth about us, it's foolishness to start arguing against it. Fellas, we're not running from any fades. That's not what we have a reputation for. That's not what we do. By fades, I mean challenges that come our way. If there's things that we need to brush up on and fix, we're not running from that. Our main interest is supposed to be fixing ourselves so much to where people have to start looking at us with respect. And if you acknowledge it, just like me, that we have some work that we need to do, you shouldn't be tripping if people call us out on it publicly, right?
Facts. Absolutely. 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 Good one. Yes. Everybody. With Dana, everybody gonna get it.
Came to realize, right? Women really think they have unconditional love, right? They have conditional love, but they have unconditional tolerance. Men have unconditional love but conditional tolerance. So when they be like, oh, y'all can't take what y'all put us through, that's because we're not about to tolerate it. It don't mean I don't love you. The fact that our love shows unconditionally because it goes back to when I'm assessing you, I understand that everything that I'm giving for you to have is just me deciding to do it because I love you. It's not that it's not being sustained by what you give me. It's like I just love you because you are. It is what it is. I just fuck with you because I don't fuck with you because you do this or don't do this or because you like this. I fuck with you and I love you because of that. But I'm not tolerating none of this shit. Whereas though So they don't love us unconditionally, but you got some shit going on. You got a car, you got a nice house, you can sustain a lifestyle, you can take care of them. They'll tolerate anything that you got going on, and they confuse the two. So they think that because they more willing to tolerate certain shit, that's love. But it's like, no, the love, sometimes you gotta give a motherfucker hard love, that cold love where it's like, I love you, but no, like you on some bullshit. I'm separating myself from you, even if you think for the long haul in the bigger picture. But if I'm giving you this motherfucking unconditional tolerance, that's when there's no boundaries. That's when it's like, oh, you can get away with anything and I'm gonna tolerate it because I don't want to speak up because I'm in fear of losing the benefits that I'm gaining from what you're giving me. So when you think about it, the women, y'all have unconditional tolerance where y'all might give us a little bit more grace and room to do certain shit and get away with certain shit, but your love is conditional. Your love will change if that nigga go broke. Your love will change if he get rich. Your love will change if he get fat. All that. I can still love a woman even if I'm not physically attracted to her.
So I'm reading here, apparently 25-year-old Florida woman messed around with 5 boys aged 12 to 15 over 30 times in a span of a few months. Dang. These women out here, they moving. And I'm looking right at her mugshot right here. Honestly, well, maybe not her mugshot, because this is her with makeup on. No, she looks like she about 26 right here. Yeah, she look about 26, 27 right here. But honestly, from this side profile, and I might include it, you can pause to look at it. This woman, let me see if she look about 25 right here. Okay. This is her in court. She got a little makeup on. Okay. Just another shot. Okay. Look about 26. Okay. Now right here, she look about 15, 16. Like she's got a very young face, to be honest. But that's an aside. That's a side note. Man, what are you doing? 12 to 15 is crazy. Say investigations are ongoing. But when y'all try to say that, and there was a woman recently, because a man commented on her arm hair. He said, oh, you got hair under your arms. Right? And she had already been on another dating show to where she was asking men who they voted for. Who you vote for? I'll ask this question right now. Who you vote for? Very antagonistic. And after the man said, I voted for Trump, Pop, I ain't gonna you, because you as a black man, you know, and just really giving the man grief about who he voted for. Right? Bad attitude. She went on another dating show and he made a comment on what, you know, that type of stuff. And then she turned around and she, you know, she was kind of facing the other direction. And she said, oh, well, you know, that's because you like little girls. Huh? What? They always want men to be the ones that are disgusting and dirty and predatory. But then, as we can see right here, there be some women out there too.
I wasn't even going to get on here and talk about this, but now I am, because you know what? I don't give a anymore, okay? Okay, so I'm laughing because I'm really having a hard time understanding why there are so many sassy grown men amongst us, okay, in society. So my boyfriend and I have been together we're together for 1.5 years, okay? We were living together, and about 2 weeks ago, we get an argument, right? And obviously, I'm not going to go into details, but essentially, it was just about our needs not being met. And in that argument, I did get a little sassy. I got a little feisty because resentment has built, right? I'm asking you for things, in my opinion, the bare minimum, and it's like pulling teeth. So after our little disagreement, our argument, we agreed to give each other space, which we always do after arguments, okay? Y'all, tell me why this man ignored me. Oh my God, I have a gray hair and it's just like showing, whatever. A week goes by, okay, we didn't talk. So tell me why I offered to get this man lunch, right? Me being nice, of course, that's my problem. I get this man lunch. Do y'all know what he did? Oh my God. This weak, sassy walks in the house, grabs the lunch I bought him, and then walks out the door. So I said, we need to talk. Now, mind you,
ooh, you hear that potty mouth that she got? That's probably why he is done. You probably talk to him crazy. More masculine energy than you have feminine energy.
This was a week ago, okay? He says, you can't force me to talk. Okay, sorry, girl. So fast forward to today, it's now been 2 weeks since he's spoken to me.
Look how she getting on the internet and belittling him. So just imagine what she doing behind closed doors when they having words. And she know on top of that he's a man and he's stronger, but women like this, they never learn until they get burned.
Went ahead and already got me an apartment, all the things. I'm on my way to get my moving boxes right now. But it's been 2 whole weeks. Like, how?
Yeah, that's what he want. Man, we normally not the ones that initiate breakups. It's the woman. But he probably don't know how to refrain from going about it, so he doing it this way. He probably glad that you leaving.
Weird is that? How weird is that? Like, it's one thing to be upset with someone, whatever, but I didn't even get the courtesy of like a text like, hey, I'm not ignoring you, I just need more time to speak. Nothing. This man just nothing. Then to make matters worse, actually 2 things to make matters worse. One, his brother blocked me on Instagram, which I think is very strong. That's very weird. I mean, that's a very emotional thing to do. And second, bro, I cut my family off. I cut my mother off for the same type of emotional abuse. And you thought you were safe? No. Ladies, always pick yourself, always. When God is removing someone, listen to him, because I should have listened a long time ago.
And God probably seemed like he did him more of a justice than he did you. What y'all think in the comments?
When that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to get an apartment because that man is done with your BS. He's done with your foolishness. You thought you was going to call him sassy and all that other stuff, and you was going to talk crazy to him. Men get tired of that crap, and this is why men are walking away. Y'all think that y'all can just do whatever you're doing. It's not going to work.
I'm starting to understand why men don't want to get married in 2026, and it's obvious. These men go out there and they literally bust their ass, and they trust you enough not to get a prenup, go through with it, right? Marry you. You know, shit hit the fan. Shit go left, y'all get a divorce, and you want to leave him with nothing. Feels like she is entitled to all the assets, properties, and all the things that you have and had before you even got married. That she had no part in, but she thinks she's entitled to that. If y'all even built something within that marriage, by all means, split that. Or whatever you have to do. But why come after shit that you ain't have no partake in? You can't leave this marriage with what you came in with and what he came in with. Why? Why you gotta be so evil? This is the same woman that said, I do till death do us part. We locked in forever. It's the same woman, right? So in love with you, but want to leave you high and dry without a penny in your pocket. This the same person, right? Y'all savages. Where is the old, like, love nowadays? There is no, we're done. We're going to work through this. Whether it's counseling, whether it's, like, we pray together, whether we're going to make it work. What happened to that love? Y'all all in it for something. Shit is sad. I don't understand that.
A big thing that you said was that let's not look at the F minus because we already got an F. I mean, could you see how that's like it comes off as like a sidestep of accountability of seeing like, well, what is going on with Black women? And so, cause kind of like, well, everybody's failing. So, I mean,
that's
like,
not what I said. I said everybody's failing. So we
actually
both need to see what we have to do better. That's not a sidestep.
So
that's a call for accountability on both sides.
Did anybody else hear it like that? I mean, it kind of sounded like it was evening it out when it's like, no, there's definitely a group doing worse.
Right. And my point is that the worst that you're talking about is it has not just to do with the F minus. It is both. When I talk to Black women about why they're single, it's not because they're fat. Like when I'm talking to Black women, they're saying, well, the issues that I'm having is I can't connect with him emotionally. I don't feel wanted. I don't feel like, or not wanted, but I don't feel like he's being consistent. Right? Those sort of things. Yes, there are issues with Black women, and we can talk about them right here today. We can talk about attitudes and things like that because I don't disagree that they exist. But I do think that by saying that because you're worse, if we deal with you, everybody else will be better, that's not fair. I don't think that's fair. What I'm saying is we deal with the two lowest statistics because they're the ones trying to get together. Black men are not showing up to the dating market as healthy as they could be, and Black women are not showing up to the dating market as healthy as they could be. And we need to address both of those things. That's all I'm saying, and I think I've been saying that.
Yeah, you definitely, you absolutely been consistent.
Why is that a sidestep though?
I agree with you that that Black women and Black men in general are just doing poorly in marriage. I think that is really obvious. I think that's really obvious. The perception of a sidestep comes from like when we put everybody in the same container rather than saying like, okay, this group has some particular issues that they're bringing in. Black women have some particular issues that they're bringing in general, and Black men also have some particular issues that they're bringing in general. I mean, we like
That's
money.
the same
We're going to
thing.
start
You just
talking
said
about
the
money.
same thing. I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's not a sidestep. That's just being clear about what's happening. But Black men are Black men are doing 7% better than Black women in the dating market. You can't just look at numbers and say that that means something when we're looking at a grossly large population. We cannot just say that that is the biggest problem. That is the only problem. And if that was if Black women got skinnier, and if Black women had less attitude, then we would all be better. And that's just not it. That's not it.
I would like to see. I'm not going to lie to you.
Small waist, whatever capital, a majority of.
No, we heard the same thing that you heard. And that I just did a video about that with a detailed response to what she said. I heard it the same way. And that, once again, I commented and I said, hey, I appreciate your well thought out response. I appreciate your perspective on this, but I can see why men are saying that you're not holding women accountable based on this video here. This is doctor, or I should say, she's not doctor, but she's a licensed social worker, Mrs. Veronique Esther, licensed social worker. I can guarantee she probably worked hard for that degree, right? I appreciate your response. I appreciate the research that you did, but hearing you talk about this stuff lets me know that you don't understand a man's perspective.
Body count matters. The only people who say body count doesn't matter are either people with high body count, people who want to have a high body count, or people who know someone that for one reason or another they have to defend who also have a high body count. See, most people's beliefs are not their beliefs. They are merely the leftover options from everything they wish not to believe. Nobody on this earth truly, wholeheartedly, honestly in here believes that body count doesn't matter, because it is biologically and scientifically proven and felt up here and down there that you become desensitized to sex and connection, and every next person you sleep with erodes the purity and intensity of the excitement and whereby the connection you want to be able to have with the one person you marry. In short, the more people you screw, the less you'll be able to connect with. So this proclaimed belief that body count doesn't matter only serves as a mask for an underlying lifestyle that they don't wish to uproot. It isn't a belief, because the same people who argue that body count doesn't matter and that desensitization doesn't apply to sexual experience are the very people who say that you get desensitized to objectification of women in advertising, or that constant exposure to unrealistic beauty standards desensitizes people to body image stereotypes, so we should glorify being fat. So it doesn't make sense, because if you agree principally on the human brain's innate capacity for desensitization, you can't pick and choose where it applies and where it doesn't, and certainly not to virtual signal compassion with prevarications around the truth that you don't want to admit, because it would demand you to uproot your beloved lifestyle. That's the reality. Modern society, relationships, self-improvement, and emotional mastery. My new book.
268,000 likes that video got, because that's how low IQ women are. Every day they get on the internet and they prove to men why they shouldn't be taken seriously. And I need to correct myself, because I said women, and I don't mean women as a whole, because I'm not an asshole unlike this girl, and I would never promote generalizing women as some sort of monolith, some sort of collective, or some sort of system. Every day you guys get on here and you just prove why feminism is a joke, why more and more of us women are walking away from it, because you guys aren't actually talking about anything that matters. You're over here bitching, making up fake scenarios. Oh, we're not sexist, we just hate men as a system. Like, what if I got on here and I was like, I don't dislike black people, I just hate them as a system, you know, all the crimes they're committing. Like, it's not like it's just like not that simple, right? Like, maybe there's generational trauma, systematic racism. No, No. But as soon as you do it to men, it's just acceptable. And it's just chalked up as feminism. And I, as a woman, am supposed to sit back here and coddle you and rub your fucking clit and tell you to have a good job and a good day. Well, you can suck it, because you know what? You guys are retarded, and somebody needs to say it.
Are women more privileged than men? Yes, they are, and it's not even close. Women are loved just for existing. They get attention, compliments, protection, free drinks, doors opened for them, etc. And a man, he's invisible until he proves that he can provide, protect, perform, pay, or add value. In other words, earn your spot or disappear. Guess what? A woman can also decide if you become a dad or not. You get zero say. She's pregnant, her body, her choice, my dudes. End of story. Do you want the kid? Doesn't matter. Don't want it? Doesn't matter. 18 years of child support slammed on you without consent. And worse, she cheats. She claims the kid is yours. You raise it for years and discover that it's not yours later. Court, in many places, still force you to pay until 18 years of age. So you're screwed. One day, she wakes up unhappy, files for divorce, no proof needed, and walks with primary custody most of the time, years of child support, and many times a lifetime of alimony plus half of your assets. Oh, and she isn't required to show you that the money is actually helping your kid. It all goes to her. She can also falsely accuse you with zero consequences. She can claim assault, abuse, rape, online to the police and in court. And if it's proven a total lie, she gets a little slap on the wrist. But you lose your job, your reputation, your sanity, and you can spend years in prison even if you're innocent. The system shields her more than the truth. Men are disposable, not women. Draft registration, men only. Most workplace deaths, men. Most homeless, men. Suicide rate 4 times higher, men. The double standards never end. Man hits a woman, monster, jail. A woman hits a man, what did you do to her? Man cheats, you're trash. Woman cheats, she was just unhappy, he failed. The bottom line is, women get safety nets, sympathy, legal advantages, social worship, and endless help. Men don't. That is just the truth. Pretending that we're both equal is gaslighting half of the population. So wake up.
I just think that if a woman wants what a man wants, then of course she's going to have to think like them, but still act like a lady. Because there is a such thing as acting like a woman and thinking like a man.
There's no such thing as acting like a lady and thinking like a man.
Steve Harvey wrote it.
Steve Harvey is dumb. Just because you think like a man, you're capable of acting like a lady. That doesn't even work. If you think about ice cream all day, you going to eat the ice cream or no?
Oh, hell yes.
But you're going to eat the ice cream.
But
so if you think like a man, you're going to act like a man. Listen.
Okay.
Influence creates thinking. Thinking creates behavior. The things that you think about, you tend to act on those things. So if you got hoe thoughts, you probably going to be a hoe, right? Like say if you got homosexual thoughts. Bro, you gay. You're going to do some gay stuff sooner or later if you having gay thoughts. You get what I'm saying? So if the woman is thinking like a man and want to date like a man and sleep around with this man and not have no emotional connection with the man, she's going to do it.
What the is the point of getting married at all? If you're going to sign a contract with the state, if you're preventing the state from coming in and dividing assets by having other contracts, why not just use the secular method and just have all of those things absent the state contract? So unless you can explain to me what it is you're going to get out of a marriage that two people can't just agree to, absent the religious qualia, then I want to hear it. What?
You're arguing against reality, so you're denying reality. And the reality that we live in is that marriage is not just a religious institution now. It is also a financial agreement and a long-term life contract.
Then why do it?
You need a prenup.
Why do you need to have a prenup if you just don't get married?
Because in a prenup, you could write down, a cheating clause, which I would have, right?
But why are you getting married in the first place?
Because you want somebody to spend your life with.
You can do that without the marriage.
No.
Why not? Why?
Is it logically possible?
Is it logically?
Yes,
yeah. Then what are you talking
absolutely.
about? What's illogical?
Why did you get married then?
Huh? Well, I'm religious. I just told you it's a religious institution.
But it's also a financial commitment, right?
Yeah, but if you're not looking at it,
so why didn't you just get married in the church?
Because I did. I did get married in the church. I think what his argument is, why, and this is what a lot of men are actually thinking. If I have to go through all these loopholes just to be with somebody, if I have to jump through this hula hoop or this loop and this and that and then twirl and spin and backflip and do all of this other stuff just to get with you, and a lot of this stuff while I'm building this tower can all fall back on me, then why would I get married? What would I be doing it for? Once again, we have to go back to statistics. Most men out here are not going to say, well, a lot of men are going to say, you know, if I look at the statistics, half of these marriages end, right? Might be a little bit lower, might be a little bit higher, but half of the marriages are ending. They're ending. And then when you look at that subset of people, most of the time it's not even me dipping. It's the woman. She's leaving. So if it's going to be her that's going to leave, and I'm not going to leave my investment, right? If it's going to be her that's leaving, why would I jump? Well, just put a prenup and let's do this and let's do that. With the way that these women be getting out of prenups, just basically crying and boo-hooing and kicking and screaming, I don't know if I want to take that chance. It's what a lot of men are saying. I don't want to go through the nonsense. I don't want to go through all of this murky water and all of this bull crap. If you don't like me, then just say that.
Whew, here we go. Woman going viral on social media for telling a man he's asking the wrong questions after just talking. Let's take a look. As always, you guys can just pause the video and read it yourselves. If not, he says, "What you up to? Shopping online? What about you? Ho 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 ho. What you shopping for, pretty?" Just pretty, huh? You want to say pretty girl, beautiful woman, pretty something. Anyway, clothes for my vacation. And you asking the wrong questions. LOL, what question should I be asking? How much is your cart? LMAO. Now, why would I say some silly stuff like that? Here's the thing, man. Begging culture is getting crazy. You know what? I can't even say getting crazy, because a lot of us put that thing on it. Like, man, the dating pool got pee in it. No, let me tell you something. I've been alive for a while, okay? The dating pool was apparently always had pee in it. Before the DM messages, it was you calling a woman, "Hey, what you going on?" "I'm just buying some school clothes for my son. You want to contribute?" You're like, "Geez Louise, I just beeped you." You know what I mean? I wasn't old enough to beep nobody, but I've heard stories. You know what I'm talking about? Number two, just breaking down the conversation. He says, "What you up to?" She answers, and he says, "What you shopping for?" You brought this on yourself. You could have leaned the conversation anywhere else. But you saying what you shopping for would lead anybody to say, why does it matter? Are you trying to help me? You know what I mean? She says close to my vacation, does not even volunteer where she's going on vacation to, how long, none of that. They just got on this DM. You understand? Her hands look like cups. My mom always told me, you make sure you stay away from people whose hands look like cups. Always want something, right? He says, what question should I be asking? She say, how much is your cart? Also, I'm not letting her fully off the hook, but I am saying also, she did not say the question he should be asking is, can I pay for it? She just said, how much is in your cart? She could have been asked that and just told him how much is in the cart. That's also a weird question for somebody to ask back. What are you guys' thoughts? How would you find the solution to this situation? Would you be like him? Would you be like her? And if you are a woman that is watching this, what are your thoughts on this entire exchange? And I tell you something else. If she out there selling that thing, let that sister make her money. You know what I'm talking about? But be honest with these brothers and let them know that it's for sale. Amen. Hey, man.
I mean, why even come out with this? just straight to begging. Straight to begging. Why even go for this in the beginning? Why? This is why men aren't wanting. We talked about earlier, men saying, listen, we cutting all of that nonsense out. We're not doing that no more. Stop acting stupid. Stop it. And this is just a continuation of the foolishness and stupidity.
The other day I posted a video about my husband letting me do something, and predictably got a lot of women in the comments saying, your husband lets you do something? Yes, he let me do something because my husband is in charge. He is in charge of the household, and that's how I like it. Because you know who's in charge if he is not? Me. Do you know what that means? That means that I have to know what's wrong with the car when it makes a funny noise. No, thank you. That means I am the one expected to go back to work after the baby's born. Don't want to do that. I am the one that has to plow the driveway and scrape off the cars in the winter when it snows. I hate winter. I hate cold. I don't want to do that. Why? Can I do all those things? Yes. Do I want to? No. I think that should be a man's job. That's why I married a man. A good man. Maybe if I married a piece of crap, I would feel differently. Probably would. But I didn't. I married a really good man who I might even say 10 out of 10 times, gives me more than what I ask for. When I need to go pick up the animals, he will be the one to drive the trailer into town and back it up and get it. I don't want to do that. Drive a trailer in town? No thanks. So, you might not want your husband to do these things for you. I love when he does them for me. So, he will continue to stay in charge. That's the way I like it. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah, it is the way it should be. But the key was, she said, a good man. See, ladies, if you want a good man, okay, a good one, it's not something that you allow them to be in charge. A good man should take charge. A good man should lead. A good man should provide and protect and take care of all the things she mentioned. And it's not that you're letting him be in charge. He's taking charge. He's taking leadership. That's what makes him a good man.
Well, it is. It is. She is letting him take charge. There's a lot of women out here that kick, scream, and that's why their marriages are in shambles, because they don't allow the man to do it. In a partnership, you have to give over to another person. The man might say, okay, well, we're doing this, 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 and this. He can physically make you go there, but because he's like, well, I don't want to force her to do this stuff. I want her to do it because that's what she wants to do. Then I'm not going to force her to do that. If she don't want to do it, then, I guess we're not going. You can't force anybody, or you can, but you don't want to force anybody to do anything. That's just weird. That's just weird, man. Like, just if they don't want to do it, then we don't need to be teammates, right? So I understand where you're coming from in terms of a good man takes charge. He protects, he provides this and this and that. You're not going to let him do anything. You are. When we sign up, we're signing up as, okay. Like, say, for instance, if you get out there, you have a quarterback that says, okay, we're going to run this play. We're going to do this, 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 and this. Okay, ready, break. If the receiver is acting like a diva, as they say, there's not anything going on. You can't do anything because the receiver has decided, I'm not going to be part of the team unless you run the ball or run a play for me, or unless you throw me the ball 15 times a game, regardless of how many times I catch it. I'm not going to cooperate. And then a lot of teams, because there's a lot of money in it, bow down to the receiver because they've already paid him because he had a good season, right? Or a good season or two. They bow down and say, okay, man, let's give him his 10 to 15 tries. Not open, getting the ball intercepted, making the quarterback stats look bad because they got to force feed him. Men are tired of doing that. Men are done force feeding modern women. I'm not going to continue to throw you the ball at all. I'm not going to continue to do that. I'm going to look at somebody else on the team who is hungry and wants it and wants to be a part of the team, who wants to get in with everybody and huddle and, okay, well, I'm not handing off the ball this time. So you got to block. Sometimes you got to do the dirty work. Okay. Now is your play. We're going to run right. Well, I don't want to run right. We're going to run right. Okay. Now, when I give you the ball, you take that ball. If you see a hole, I'm trusting your vision. If you see a hole, hit the hole. Oh, yep, right there. That's your vision. That's your vision. You're following the plan, but you're taking your vision, your idea, your expertise and saying, okay, now I fit within the structure of the team. The line has opened up right here and I'm going to take it. Oh, shoot. The line hadn't opened up. I see an opening over there. I'm going to go over here. And you run over it. Oh, shoot. Here they come. Barry Sanders. Here they come again. He ain't have no line. But he was considered to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest. Most people think that Barry Sanders, had he stayed in the league longer, he would have shattered the record that Walter Payton set. Because he was so good at finding openings, shifty, just juking people left and right. That's how you need to be as a wife. That's how you need to be. You need, oh, I see a hole over here. Oh, I see a hole over there. Within the structure, even if the team don't have no structure. And that was one of the terrible things about it. And that's what made Barry Sanders so great, because the line was so terrible. The line was horrible. And he still figured out a way to make it happen. He still figured out a way to be great. You don't want that. That's not the optimal or the best position for you. And we can say, okay, here's a man is terrible, but despite his best efforts to keep you down, you were still great. Don't be with that guy. You know what I mean? Barry Sanders was under contract, so he kind of had to, right? But despite the circumstance, I'm still this. I'm still feminine. I still do what I'm supposed to be doing. So when they trade you away to a better team, you might mess around and win a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford might mess around and win a Super Bowl. I was really good on the Lions. I had some mistakes, but once I went to the Rams and I got a little bit better situation, I won a Super Bowl. DeMarcus Lawrence left my Cowboys. He was honest. He said, I love Texas, my home. I love it here. I ain't gonna win no championship here. I'm just not. He made the move. Went to the Seahawks. Seahawks fool around, won it. I got a Super Bowl because I was always getting. I did my job, and I moved and went somewhere else. And now look at me. I'm talented, and when in the right system, I'm even more of a force. I'm even better, and I actually contributed something that's gonna work. End of story.
I understand the woman bring life. Y'all don't.
How do you get that life?
Go in the hospital and get a sperm donor. You don't need a man. You need a physical woman to bear a child for you.
And y'all need a physical sperm. Where does it come from?
That's for right now.
Give it to from a man.
You guys need a physical woman to bear a child.
Listen, women.
You don't need a physical man to live with, to have a child with.
Where you getting the sperm from?
The hospital, bro.
Women like you always try to eliminate men, and that's where the issue is. You just said you don't need a man.
You don't.
You don't want him. You want the potion that lives inside of his testicles.
And this one's going to get me in trouble, but bear with me. This is coming from a good place. But this is my hot take. I have heard, especially recently, time and time again, many a time, women talk about how much they miss an alpha masculine man. And I want a man to come and do this for me and provide and take care of me, and I'm tired and I fell for the feminism and the working and I'm exhausted and I want to have kids, and that whole tune that we've been hearing. I've heard it a lot, and I sympathize and I understand a lot and I empathize. But I seldom hear them say, and this is what I will give.
Never.
Daddy, can you relax? I'm on a roll here, okay? But I hear it a lot of what they want to receive, and I get it. But what are you gonna give? And then when I ask them, it's always like, oh, I'll make him a home. Baby girl, do you even know what that entails? Do you know the dedication, the work, the commitment, the sacrifice, the selflessness that it takes to give a man a home, to give yourself a home? It's a lot of hard work.
It don't matter. I wonder why some of y'all single, because you ladies.
That was honestly the most frustrating thing to watch coming from her. And I've seen her before. She was on the Whatever podcast too. She just got an attitude and don't like to just fucking answer questions. But she was asked clearly. It's a video game analogy. And men understand this very good and well. That if one person played the game on easy mode and beat the whole game, and you see another person that played the game on hard mode and beat the game, who would you respect more? The answer is very simple and clear. Of course, you're going to have respect for the person, more respect for the person who actually beat the fuck out of this game in hard mode. Because let's be real, Mortal Kombat's hard as fuck. But yet, old girl didn't want to answer the question. She didn't want to answer the question at all. She had to think about it. And then answered saying, it don't matter. Like, what?
Yes, men have historically abused power, but the idea that the woman in power will automatically save the world is just another fantasy. Stop assuming someone is kind when they have no power. I am tired of the narrating being pushed around in movies, TV shows, and pop culture that women rising to power will automatically make the world better. A person with no authority, no control, no influence has no real opportunity to show you who they become when they can dominate others. I mean, take the everyday example, a perfectly sweet woman who becomes a nightmare the moment she becomes sus. Suddenly she's controlling, dominating, and it's the most feared marriage dynamic. Power doesn't check gender, power checks character, and power often reveals selfishness in everyone.
I seen a video right now of a woman, and it makes me sad to see these videos because I feel so bad for women who come off like they're slow as fuck. It's like your last two brain cells are fighting themselves and you're letting them win. She said that black men who date white women would date a man. They'd basically be GAY. You have never seen a good looking white woman before? You bitches be lying to yourself every fucking day. It is crazy. I want to show you some white women that I think are very pretty. I'm not a hater, y'all. I think all races of women are gorgeous. Of course, you have some beast, hyena, gargoyles in every race. But I think the one thing that's going to make you uglier is hating on people all because you're not getting picked. If you are such a hot, smoking black woman, where's your man? If you are falling off the bone, pussy glistening, body tea, like you women always say, clock it, where's your man? He probably doesn't like you. And in the video, the woman who was saying that, I'm not gonna say too much. Let's get into the video. So let's start off strong. My favorite white woman, Charlize Theron, my favorite actress. When I tell you, this woman used to have me in a chokehold when I was younger. I used to think she was so...
Basically, she goes on to talk about who she thinks is beautiful, Jennifer Aniston, Charlize Theron. There was a couple of more in there as white women. But this is what a lot of modern women do. They try to, because really it's the only thing that they can do. They trash you, talk down on you, as Kevin Samuel said, shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. That's their MO. That's how they operate, because that's really the only power that they have.
So I was scrolling on TikTok and I ended up on the side where a lot of grown men said they had to stop fighting for their kids because it was affecting their mental health and it was affecting them financially, and it's just like it just became too much, and they fought as best as they could to try to see their kids. Now I'm scrolling through the comments and 90% of women is like, that's weird as hell, you need to fight for your kids. You know what's more weird? That you think that a man should have to fight for his kids. Why are you fighting for something that's supposed to be equally yours? You know what it is? Because bitter women think they own you after you have a baby with them. You don't give them what they want, they think they own you, and all a woman has to do is lie once and the kid gets swept away. Let's talk about it. You do not own a man just because you have a baby with him. You don't have a right to lie on your baby dad because he don't want to be with you or because he don't give you what you want. Okay, that's the part that I don't like. That a lot of women are in the comments like, oh, no. And you know what? I get it. I get it now as an adult. Like, why does a man have to keep fighting? What I feel as though is let her suffer for a little bit. The kid's gonna grow up and learn what the parent did.
My husband and I have been married for 17 years. We got to the biggest fight we've ever gotten into, ever.
Spill the tea, girl. I'm here for it. I love the drama.
Over our toilet water.
Huh? Over what?
You tell me if I'm overreacting,
Okay.
because I really don't think I...
Well, there's 3 instances in where you wouldn't be overreacting. Did he make you drink toilet water? Did he dunk your head into toilet water? Did he flood your house with toilet water because he clogged up the toilet? So if it's one of those, no, you're not overreacting.
Okay, so here's what happened. Every single time I go out of town, my husband's incredible. Like, I travel a lot for work. I come home. He's so great about cleaning the house, doing the laundry, you know, keeping up with the kitchen. The house is always immaculate when I come home.
And then he threw toilet water on you and all over the house, right? Like, is that it?
Somehow this man got it into his head that, you know what would be really cool is if you put one of those giant blue hockey discs in the back of your toilet water so that every time you flush, the toilet comes out blue. The toilet water comes out blue. Like it's, like we live at a 7-Eleven.
Okay, I think I'm following.
So I come home, I'm using, like, I go to the bathroom and I'm like, why is the water blue?
Oh, so he did it,
and
good.
he's like, oh, I bought these things to put in the back of the toilet. I was like, what were you doing at the store? Looking at the aisle of all the things for cleaning items for the house where you thought that would be a good idea. Take me through.
I'll help you with that. He was thinking, how can I keep these toilets cleaner in between me cleaning the toilets? That's all. But like, when does he dunk your head into the blue toilet water and like dye your hair blue? Because like, that has to be what this is about.
He's like, you're making such a big deal. You're being so dramatic. I'm like, I am not being dramatic.
You sure about that?
So for a month, I'm flushing the toilet and it's still blue. And I'm complaining about it every day.
Wait, hold up. So he was making the toilets cleaner and had to hear you complain about it every single day for a month? Oh. Okay.
So literally, like, we're laying in bed the other night and I just go on TikTok, like, how do I empty the back of my toilet tank so I can, so that I can get rid of this blue water. I literally, like, put in the search bar, how do I empty the back of a toilet?
I got this one. There is a flexible hose that connects from your toilet tank to the water supply coming out of the wall behind the tank. There is usually a valve that you close off that stops the water supply from entering the tank. So when you flush the toilet, it will drain the tank, and since you've closed off the water supply, it won't refill. It's really, really easy.
He gets up in a fury, like, oh my God, you're making such a big deal about this. When did you get so highfalutin? Blah, 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 blah. You've changed.
He sounds like an absolute saint and deserves an award after hearing you complain about the color of your toilet water for a month straight.
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about changed so much. Like, we live in a pretty nice neighborhood. Like, it's 2024. Like, what are you doing where you think
Ew.
this was a good idea?
And this is the point where he dumped the toilet water on your head, right? Nah, it makes sense. I take back what I said in the beginning. This is justified. I'm on husband's side. This is where he dumped toilet water on your head, right?
So that night, he emptied the toilet.
No, he did not give
bowl
in.
Somehow, I still don't know
he
how
did
to
not
do
give
it.
in to you.
And
This poor man.
It's great.
This poor man.
It looks good now in the main bathroom, but not the master.
Wait, that's it? That's the whole story? Was the blue water? That's it? Like, he didn't dump it on you? He didn't dunk your head in it? He didn't make you drink it? He didn't flood nothing? That was it? That was your whole... We sat through this for that? Oh, this man is a saint. Oh, this man is a saint. Listen, I know that there are people out there that those cubes, those little pucks, that they can be damaging to your system. Like, it can hurt your toilet, but never just because of the color of the water. The color of the water is your biggest complaint, and you went and you threw your whole husband under the bus for it. And you've made it your whole entire personality. I see that you change in your profile, like, doesn't like blue toilet water. It is my whole personality now. You're the worst.
I really gotta believe that this is satire. There's no other reason for it. I gotta believe that. I gotta believe that this is a joke. It can't be anything else.